In late summer of 1606, London stands as a city shaped by endurance rather than intention. Within the ancient limits of the city, centuries of growth have pressed buildings closer and streets tighter, forming an urban landscape built layer upon layer. Timber houses lean inward above narrow lanes, their upper floors stretching toward the light. Along the Thames, the city breathes through trade movement and constant labour. London feels established, familiar, even permanent. It has survived plague war and political upheaval. Nothing in its daily rhythm suggests that this version of the city is nearing its end.
You nearly took my basket clean off. Did you see that?
Aye, they are stubborn beasts. But the wool looks...
London's shape is dictated by water and constraint. The River Thames curves through the city like an artery carrying goods, people and waste in equal measure. Its banks are crowded with wharves, warehouses and stairs descending directly into the water, leaving little separation between commerce and daily life. Beyond the river, the city is confined by its medieval walls, remnants of an earlier age that now limit expansion rather than defend it. Streets twist and narrow as they follow paths laid down long before carts and crowds multiplied. Open ground is scarce. Light struggles to reach the street level. The city grows inward and upward, compressing itself against boundaries it no longer controls. Geography does not offer London room to breathe. Instead, it forces the city to fold tighter with each passing generation. London did not expand outward so much as it accumulated inward. Over centuries, the city absorbed growth by building atop what already existed, extending structures vertically and pushing their upper floors beyond the street below. Timber frames allowed houses to rise quickly and cheaply, while overhangs created more interior space without widening the road. What began as practical adaptations slowly reshaped the city's form. Narrow lanes grew darker as sunlight was blocked by walls that leaned ever closer together. Courtyards filled, open ground vanished. New construction followed old footprints, reinforcing patterns set generations earlier. Roads curved where property lines dictated, not where movement required. Bridges and river stairs multiplied to manage the flow of goods, but little was done to reorganize the city itself. Expansion came without redesign, density increased without order. By 1606, London had become a layered structure of habits and compromises, its growth driven by necessity rather than foresight. The city stood taller than before, but also heavier, carrying the weight of decisions made slowly and never undone. At the heart of London, power and commerce share the same crowded ground. Near the river markets, counting houses and warehouses cluster tightly together, forming a dense core where authority is exercised through trade. Goods arriving from overseas move quickly from ship to storehouse, passing through hands that measure value in weight, volume and credit. Streets near the Thames are lined with taverns, workshops and offices, where transactions are negotiated face to face. There is little separation between work governance and daily life. Institutions that regulate trade and civic order stand beside private businesses, their presence woven into the same narrow streets. The city's economic energy flows through these spaces continuously from dawn until long after dark. London functions here as a machine of exchange dependent on proximity and constant movement. Everything essential to the city's influence passes through this compact centre, compressed into an environment where activity leaves no room for pause and where efficiency is achieved through closeness rather than clarity.
20 shillings for the lot, delivered by sundown.
Done. A fair price, master.
Daily life in London unfolds within this compressed environment shaped by routine rather than reflection. Streets fill early with carts, animals and people moving with practiced familiarity. Vendors call out their goods. Artisans work close to open doors, their labour visible to anyone passing by. Smoke drifts constantly from hearths and workshops, settling into the narrow lanes where sunlight rarely reaches the ground. Movement is slow and negotiated as pedestrians weave between obstacles that leave little space to spare. At dusk, oil lamps and candles begin to glow, marking doorways and windows with uneven light. Homes, shops and taverns exist side by side, often within the same building. Life is lived vertically as much as horizontally, with families stacked floor upon floor above the street. Nothing here feels extraordinary. The city functions through repetition. Each day resembles the last, reinforcing the sense that this rhythm will continue unchanged, sustained by habit and necessity rather than awareness.
Out of the way, you drunken sots!
Beneath the steady rhythm of the city lies a quieter reality shaped by scarcity and risk. Many Londoners live in overcrowded dwellings, built from inexpensive materials, their walls thin and their rooms shared. Firewood, candles, oil and open hearths are part of daily survival, not exception. Clean water is limited. Waste collects where it can. Formal systems of safety are minimal, relying instead on custom and communal response. When danger appears, it spreads faster than control. These conditions are not hidden, nor are they treated as urgent. They are accepted as the cost of living within the city's walls. London endures by tolerance rather than resilience, carrying vulnerabilities that remain unaddressed because they have always been present. At the margins of London, the city begins to loosen its grip. Beyond the walls, buildings thin and streets widen into uneven roads leading toward open ground. Fields, yards, and scattered dwellings replace the density of the inner city. These edges serve as points of entry and exit where goods, animals, and people pass between urban life and the countryside beyond. The contrast is immediate. Air moves more freely. Light reaches the ground. Here London feels less compressed, less burdened by its own structure. Yet these spaces remain tied to the city's core, feeding it and depending on it. They form a quiet boundary between containment and openness, standing just outside the crowded world within. As night settles over London, the city carries on as it always has. Lamps flicker in windows. The river continues its steady movement. Streets fall quiet, then stir again with the promise of another familiar day. Nothing marks this moment as different. The city rests unaware that this version of London is nearing its final hours. Within days, nearly all of this would be gone.